and welcome to my channel. I'm Tara with Simply Made Eats, and today we are making these lemon curd cookies. Let me tell you, they are a Christmas favorite at our household and they're so good. They start with a thumbprint-like base and we're gonna fill it with a homemade lemon curd, or you can use store-bought, of course, to save a little bit of time. So let's get to it. So we're gonna first get started with our homemade lemon curd recipe. You can see this is just absolutely delicious. One thing I do recommend, if you make this, you wanna have an instant read thermometer. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little bit trickier. I mean, once it thickens up, you can kind of tell that it's done, but this is gonna really help you because we wanna cook it until it's about 170, so it's really nice and thick like pudding. Lemon curd is actually super easy to make. We're gonna add 2 eggs into a pot with some granulated sugar. We've got lemon zest and lemon juice. Then we're gonna whisk this up until nice and combined. We're gonna add 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter and cook this over low heat for about 5 minutes, whisking the whole time. After this is cooked on low for about 5 minutes, we're gonna increase the heat to medium-low, keep whisking until it gets pudding-like, which is around 170 degrees. Then we're gonna strain the lemon curd. We wanna transfer it into a container that we can put in the fridge for at least an hour to set before we make our cookies. About shortbread cookies is it's really minimal ingredients. We don't need a whole lot of stuff. And just to mention too, if you don't want to use lemon curd, you could definitely use like any kind of preserves like apricot or strawberry. Those are both delicious too. As far as ingredients go, we've got some flour, we have vanilla extract, salt, we've got some unsalted butter that we want to soften to room temperature. We also have some sugar, and we're going to be using 1 egg yolk. The first thing we want to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Okay, so we're gonna first get started by just mixing together our dry ingredients. We've got a cup of flour. This is just all-purpose flour. And then we're gonna use a half a teaspoon of salt. And that's all we have for our dry ingredients. We don't need like any baking powder or soda in this because we don't really need them to rise. So we're just gonna whisk that up and set this aside. I've got my unsalted butter in here, and we wanna make sure that it's really nice and soft. Leave it at room temperature for at least an hour before you start this recipe. Next, you're gonna add in the granulated sugar and whip this up until it's nice and soft and fluffy. Then you wanna add in your egg yolk and vanilla extract until combined. Okay, now we're just gonna slowly add in our dry ingredients. I like to do this in like 2 increments. And we wanna just slowly mix this until it's combined. Make sure you're using a little spatula just to scrape down the sides as you need to. Then you're gonna add in the rest of your flour. And we're just gonna leave this on low until it becomes a nice dough ball. Once it's pretty close, you can just help it along a little bit. It's like kind of like pizza dough, like you have to give it a second. It's about a minute before it gets into a nice ball. This dough is one of my absolute favorites because it's so good and it doesn't require any chilling. So like we've already done like the lemon curd chilling, we don't have to do it again, which is awesome. The next thing we're gonna do is line a cookie sheet with some parchment paper, and then we're gonna get started by just rolling up our dough balls. I like to use about a tablespoonful for each cookie. This is gonna give us between like 16 and 18 cookies. Once we get our dough into a ball, we are gonna dunk it in this powdered sugar and just roll it around. I really like the effect the powdered sugar has on it with the lemon. I just think it looks so pretty. Then we're just gonna add it right onto our tray and use your thumb to just push down. It's okay if the powdered sugar gets a little bit messy, but that's exactly what we want it to look like. Then we're just gonna go through and do that for all of our cookies. I'm absolutely horrible at making even cookies, so you can always just take like a 1 tablespoon scoop like this, and that just helps it. So it's like, then everything's equal, they cook the same. It's very type A, which is not me, but it's all good. All right, so we're just gonna continue making balls. I realized that it is a little bit easier to roll all the balls first, then dunk them in powdered sugar, a little bit less messy, and then you're not getting like a bunch of powdered sugar into your dough. Okay, so I got 17 cookies out of my batch, which I feel pretty good about. So because I know that I'm gonna be filling these, after I put my thumbprint in there, I kind of build the walls up a little bit just so I can get as much lemon curd in there as possible. We have these all rolled in powdered sugar. Now we're gonna grab our lemon curd. It takes like everything I have now to just eat this whole jar because it's so good. Check out this lemon curd. Oh my goodness. So this came out perfect. You can see how like nice and thick it is. Okay, now what you wanna do is just dollop it right in the center, and you don't wanna overfill these, just to the top. I like using like a small spoon, but I didn't have one clean. And then just kind of smooth out the top. It's okay if a little bit of powdered sugar gets in there. It's not gonna hurt anything. If you made my homemade lemon curd recipe, we've got a ton of leftovers. So you could definitely make another batch of these cookies or just like use it for whatever you want. I could seriously eat this plain. It's so delicious. It's really tart, but it's super good. Once the oven's preheated, we're gonna pop these in for about 12 to 14 minutes. That's it, we're all done with these lemon curd cookies. I hope you guys add this to your Christmas cookie list. It is so yummy. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. I've got lots more holiday recipes coming and I can't wait to share them with you. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.